Our painting today is called The Wave of the Snowman. The brushes I used today on our painting was a 1/2 inch flat, number 18 or 3/4 inch bristle brush, a number 6 round brush, and a 0/3 liner brush. The paints that I used today was permanent red, neutral gray, white, chrome oxidine green, burnt sienna, black, and phthalo blue, and orange. So let me show you what paints I have. I have white, natural gray, and phthalo blue. And I'm starting off with my number 18 bristle brush, but I'm just going to mark it. I'm going to mark my ground about 5 inches. So we'll do this side too, if I can get it around here. And if it's not perfectly straight, that's no big deal. I'm just going to mark these. Oops. You didn't see that. I came off. So we have our top and our bottom, and this is only 5 inches. This is the top is taller. So that's how we're going to start it. Alright, I'm going to pick up my gray and a little bit of the white, and I'm going to start just, I think I'm going to use a little water. I'm just sprayed it with a fine mist of water. And you can do this, you can do it circular motions, you can do it up and down, you can do it any kind of way you want to be honest. It's your kind of painting, so you can do it. And so that's, you see I'm just rubbing in. There's lots going on here, so if you make some spots darker, got a bristle. If you make some spots darker, that's okay. And make some spots lighter. It's a gray sky is what it is, so we're gonna go with both. And like I said, you can do any kind of stroke here you want to. If you did it in circles, it would just look like that, and where I'm just going back and forth, that's all I'm doing. And this pencil mark is gonna get rid of it. Okay. So at this point, I'm just going to speed this up and we'll get it done. I'm just grabbing a little white here, and I'm just gonna see, put some little whiter streaks in there in some spots. You can put a little more gray in some spots if you want to. It's just a sky. I really liked it the way it was. So alright, I'm gonna go off camera for a little bit because I do want to make sure that I have all the spaces closed in, but I also want to get my sides, so I'll be back once my sides are done. I finished my sides. I painted those, and because I like to paint my sides. I'm still using my bristle brush. I've got my phthalo blue, and I'm using that with a little white, and I'm going to come down and paint the bottom part blue. I wanted a light blue, so I want to get rid of that pencil line, so that's, now it's time to do. It doesn't have, like I told you, it doesn't have to be perfect because there's stuff going on top of this. think I got a little bit too much blue there. So you can see how I'm putting my blue on. It looks like water, doesn't it? But it's the background from my snow. So I'm just going to speed this up and do this, and then I'm going to go off camera and do my sides. Alright, so I have made me a stencil. Usually what I did is I just used the black, put it on there and done that. That's what I did. I just drawed me a circle and stretched out. I can put the moon over here. I can put the moon here. I can put the moon over here. I have decided I think I want my moon just to kind of go in the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm just going to sketch mine here with my pencil, because it does make it a little harder to go around with paper. And so there's my moon. Now I am going to paint this white to start off with. I have a number 6 round that I'm going to use for this. I'm trying to keep it as simple as I can. And I'm just going to pick up my white. I still got some blue in it, but that's okay. And I'm just going to come around and make sure I get my pencil line. I probably will do 2 coats to this because it might be a little see-through. And I want to try to keep it neat as I can. And I do see that I'm having some, well, I kind of like it just, I like it like that. I don't know if I'll do another coat or not. I'm going to try to make sure I get this pencil mark covered up and then come back and just try to keep it as smooth as I can. That's what all I'm trying to do, is just keep it smooth. I kind of like the gray just kind of in there with it a little bit. So that's what I'm looking at. Yeah. Okay, and I'm just kind of rubbing that white in there. I want it thicker in some spots and thinner in some. That's good. Just trying to get these edges smooth. And I can bring in a little bit of that gray in here if I want to, just to kind of blend it in, because we don't want all the moon to be solid. We want some texture about it, so we're putting some different a little different colors in there to help. Let's see, let's try just a little bit of that phthalo blue, and I mean very little. I'm actually going to, I've got a little bit on my brush, and I'm actually, because it's mixing with the white, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that in there. Oh yeah. Get just a little bit more, and I'm still wiping it off. just to have our full moon there. And we've got white, gray, and blue in there. I am seeing some pencil mark right in here, so I'm going to grab some white. I wash my brush, and I'm just going to come in here because I do not want to see that pencil mark. And then I'm just going to kind of rub that in. If we want to put a little more white in here, we can do that too. Because your moon doesn't have to be all one solid color. You want it to be, whoops. There we go. I'm liking that moon pretty good. Okay, so at this point I'm going to use, I'm trying to keep this, because I'm doing this to teach a class. I'm doing it for a tutorial for y'all, but I'm trying to teach a class of different age groups, and so I want to try to keep the brushes to a minimum. This is a 1.5 inch flat, and so that's what I'm going to use. I have burnt sienna, which is, here I'm calling it brown. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up some trees, and I'm just going to come from my tree line, and that's all I'm going to do is just make my trees back here. I'm going to bring in some green to do the trees with, but right now I'm just putting on my, and I'm going into my moon. Look what I did. So you can see I have 6 trees. Washed and dried my 1 inch, and I am going to be using chrome oxidine green. Okay, and so even though this is wet, you can let it dry if you want to. That'd be fine. I'm just going to start picking up some green, and I'm just going to start on the corner of my paintbrush. I'm going to just start tapping a little. I might wish I had done the whole thing in green, but that's okay. We're just tapping our trees, and if we want to make it darker, we can. And like I said, I can always come back in there with more trees. I want to bring it down to the ground, so that's why I'm trying to make it a little wider. We're going to do something with this ground in just a little bit, but right now I want to get my trees in. And so I'm just taking my corner of my, and I'm going off the canvas of my tree, and there's one tree. And I just used the flat brush. I usually use a phthalo brush because it doesn't seem to make it easy, but like I said, I'm trying to keep I'm going to bring this down a little bit so you can maybe see a little better. Trying to keep it at a minimum. Alright, so I'm just tapping. You can bring it up to a point, and then I'm just and like I said, by the time we get through, the brown might not even show because we are going to be doing, and I'm just laying it down flat and just kind of going back and forth now with it. We're going to be bringing snow in here on the top of these too, so that's, and you see I'm just, looks kind of weird there, doesn't it? That's okay, we're just bringing in some, there we go. Alright, let's go back to this side over here. I'm just bouncing back and forth a little bit, that's okay, we're playing. Alright, I'm taking that brush again, and I'm just gonna come on up to a point, and I'm just gonna bring it. You know, when I first started trees, they really intimidated me. And this one, I mean, we're just, if we want to make more in the background, we can. Just a simple little winter scene. And they don't have to be perfect, because I don't know a tree that's perfect in God's creation. It's like people. He didn't make us perfect, and He didn't make all the trees perfect. So, all right. So just come on, and I'm gonna get quiet, and I'm gonna let some music play while I do these next 3 trees. Alright, so I am back. It's dry. I wanted to make sure it was dry. I'm back with my 1/2 inch flat, and I have titanium white, and I'm just going to put a little bit, I'm going to put a little bit on my brush like this, and again I'm just going to use a tip, and I'm just going to put a little bit of snow in here. When it starts to get a little low, and I got some blue on here, so that's not going to hurt anything. In some spots you can have a little more snow, you can have a little less snow, you can put as much or as little as you want. I really do like the Filbert brush better, but like I said, I'm trying to do this with as little as possible. Just coming off the side. And we just tapped on some snow. So we're going to do the same thing over here. I'm just coming back. I'm just trying to use the coner because I think that I think I like that better than just using it flat. And if it gets, you know, when you're using your brush, if it gets to the point that it seems like it's less paint on your paintbrush, you can always come back in a little bit more. Make it thicker snow. I'm just coming off a little bit here. And again, this is going to be on the ground, so that's why it's a little thicker on our bottoms here, because, well, that's where our tree is touching. But it's going to be touching our snow there. And you see I'm just tapping I keep turning my brush. Sometimes it comes straighter than others, and that's why I went back and tried to fix that a little bit, because snow's not going to fall on there straight. It's just going to go on there, but we want some of that green under there to come out to life. And if I want to bring this over just a little bit. Okay, so that's, you see how I did that? I'm using my 1/2 inch with white, and I'm going to get quiet. I'm going to play some music while I finish these other 4. Here for a minute. Where that moon is, it's gonna end up blending in a little bit, but that's okay. You're still gonna see green in there. I think I want a little bit of green right in here. So I just touched in with a little green. And there we go. So there is our trees. Because I did pick up some green, I'm going to washed and dried my brush. Alright, so now I'm just picking up white. My brush has been washed and dried. I'm picking up white. And now what I'm doing is, I don't want to kill all the blue, but I'm going to kill a lot of it. I'm just coming under here and spreading on. Like we're going to ice on a cake. We're just going to bring some white in here. And our blue that is coming through is just going to be some shadow in there. You can have your snow thicker in some spots. You can have it thinner if you want it. You can even come and try to make it like in little heels. It just doesn't matter. I'm just wiping some on my sides too. I like it kind of heavy, because that way it'll cover up more of the blue. Because if you leave it too light, it won't cover up it won't cover the blue up good. And so I got a wad of paint on my brush at this point. And I'm just trying to get some on these sides too. When I did that, I can just blend it in right there. We're just easiest way to put snow on. You can have it as thick or as thin as you want it. Now, I am going to let this dry at this point so that I can see if I want to put another coat on, because some of the blue is still coming through. I got a good bit of blue, and I'm okay with that. But we just want to, let it dry and see what it's doing. Okay, I see there's still too much blue for me, so I'm just gonna use my 1/2" brush and some white, and I'm just gonna come in and put in some more. We want that snow back there in the back. You get lots of snow there. And I'm just going to come down in here and put some more because I've got something else coming in there. So let's just get some. And if we need, in a little while, if we see, once we get that other stuff on, this has got to dry. And then once you get some of the other on, we'll see where we go from there. Okay, I guess I need to show y'all some things because I was painting away in a hurry and wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. So this is still wet, but I drew a little rectangle and a square. I rounded it off. I made me some circles. I used to paint, and a little bigger than that one. And then I just set it down here and drawed it out. And right now I'm just putting some paint on it. This is a second coat. And that's just got to dry. And over here, I used a 1/2" brush with that. Over here, I've got 3 different size of paints. And so I put this one down for the bottom right here. And I traced it. And then I put this one on top, traced it. And then I turned this one over and traced it. So I have my little snowman here. And that's how simple and easy that was. And I painted it white. This definitely needs to dry so that I can get on with the next step. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my, I think I'm going to use my smaller liner brush. I have a 3/0, and I'm going to use some phthalo blue and some white, and I'm just going to try to make that a lighter blue. Just mix it, and then I'm going to come around where my pencil lines are for my snowman. If you can get right here, and I'm just going to kind of do the outline. I think I have too much paint on it, so I'm going to wipe my paint off. And if I have to, I'll just pick up some more white. Yep, and I'm going to pick up a little more white with that because it's a little too dark. I want the blue around the snowman to make an outline, but I don't want to put that much there. So let me grab a little bit more and just get rid of this pencil mark. That's what we're trying to do here. Like I said, I can always bring in a little more white, but this gives us that really bold outline. Now we're going to put a little shadow. I'm just going to wipe a little bit right under here to give that a little shadow under my snowman. Snowman as in, but snowman. And there we go. Now I'm going to wash my brush off. And I'm just going to pick up some white with it. And I'm going to come around and just kind of tone some of this down a little bit. I want it, but I don't want it too bright. See, and we got some blue shadowing in there because the moon's coming, so we'll have more shadow on this side. I hope. I say I hope. I'm just trying to get it really a little bit over here, but a little darker over there. There we go. And see how you can see our shadows more. Our moon's up here, so it's a full moon. And I'm just adding more white on this side too. I want some of that blue, but not a lot of that blue. Okay. And there's our outline to our snowman. It was pretty simple, wasn't it? You could use, I'm using permanent red. You could use a crimson red as a darker red if you wanted to on here. I'm going to use my 1/2" brush and I have my permanent red. And I'm going to try not to stick my hand in that snowman because he is still wet. But I'm just bringing in some red. And I may have to use several coats, that's okay. And I'm just outlining my truck. Now, I'm going to go around my tires. It doesn't matter. They're not going to look great right now. That's okay. We'll come back to that. And I'm trying to hold my mouth right so as to get the top of it. If it's not wanting to roll good for you, go on there good, you can always get a little water. Well, I don't know. Don't need to paint all that right in there red. It's okay. I'll come back to it. Wasn't thinking. Sometimes you just get painting away and you don't think things out. Okay, and then we're just coming around here with our wheels. It looks funny, but I would like old trucks, so let's see if we can get it to come right up here. We're going to put a bumper on it directly, but we're not doing that right now. And then we're just bring this down. And there we go. We can put the rest of our well, I think I might need to make the truck the body just grow a little bit. And I'm seeing the trees underneath, so I know it's going to have another coat. Okay, there we go. Grab my number 6 brush here with some of this red and just come back in here. Some of these spots didn't cover up good, and I'm just bringing a little paint in here to cover up where the tree went. And there we go. So there's our little truck so far. using just a tiny little black. So I'm going to use my small brush, my 3/0. So I'm going to roll my small brush into my black. If I need to get some water, I can do that. But right now, I'm just going to give him some eyes. And then I'm going to come right here and give him some little kohl for a smile. And then we got a place to put his carrot nose. Okay. I think I am going to just give him a black hat. So we'll just come across here. He's going to have that at an angle. He's going to be a cool snowman. How much cooler can you be than that? Okay, I'm gonna I'm using my black with my little brush, and I'm just gonna kind of wiggle some arms here. So we're just gonna kind of wiggle and wiggle, and there's one of his branches. And then we're just gonna come over here and do him another one. Wiggle and wiggle. There we go. And there's his arms. And that's how simple it was to get our little snowman. Now we want to put some buttons on here. I'm just dipping my into my black, and I'm just going to give him, let's see, I want to put a scarf on him, maybe. So I'm just going to give him 1, 2. Let me give him 2 little buttons right there. So I dried everything here now, and I'm going to come back with my 1/2 inch flat, and I'm going to bring my red, and I think I'm going to give it another coat because I need to. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. I just like to make sure I got it on there. Not too straight with my lines. Okay. And I just cut, you can see I just did the outline there. You can do that longer. You can bring it back more if you wanted to. You can make it whatever you want to do. I mean, you can make it wider. I like it being like this. It's just a cute little truck. I'm not really worried about a lot of fancy stuff on it. Okay, just putting in some of this paint, because we're going to come back in here with some shadows and some snow and make it pretty. Do some more work to it. Okay, so that is that. Now I'm going to pick up my, I'm going to still use my 0/3 little brush, and I'm going to pick up some of this red, and I'm going to give this little snowman a scarf here. And if I want to make it wider, I can do that. I don't want to go too crazy. And that just kind of blows in the wind. And we're going to do another one there. So we can just come off right here. And of course we can add some mittens. So why don't we come right here. I'm not going to add but 2 mittens, so he's got to get one on one and one on the other. So I'm just going to do like a little circle type thing. And I'm going to try to fill that in where you can't see the, there we go. And then I'm just going to make one line that way that looks like a thumb, and he's waving at you. And we're going to put another one over here, I think. So let's just do, I'll just put him right here. A little circle. It's a, I wouldn't call it a circle, I just call it it's a weird looking little circle, isn't it? But it's shaped like a mitten, that's what we want. And I put a pretty good little bit of paint right there because to cover up that black. And then there's his, so there's his gloves. One's a little bit bigger than the other. That's okay. Here we go. And because I like the red, I'm gonna just put me a little flower here. Just some little dots. That it's not a real flower. It's just representing him having something there. Okay, I need just a tiny dot. I mean a dot of orange. So when I say tiny, there is my orange because not on my finger, but right there. I'm using my little liner brush. Pick up my orange, and I'm going to give myself a carrot nose. And I'm going to come. I want it to come this way or I want it to come that way. That doesn't really matter. It's your decision. I'm going to make mine come this way. And you just bring it around to look like a little carrot. There's his nose. That's how simple it was. If you want to go in more detail, you can, but I'm happy. I don't really see that I need to do anything different to my little nose. So I have my number 6 liner. I've got brown, burnt sienna, black, and white. And I'm going to just pick some of these 3 colors up. They can turn into a gray if they want to. I don't care. And I'm just going to make me a tree right along in here. It may come into the red. That's okay. I want you to be kind of close to the snowman and to the truck. So, and we'll just pick up all kinds of colors here. And I'm going to make him a little fatter because, you know, it's a tree. And I think it's too skinny right there. So, you see what we're doing? We're just okay. I'm just trying to cover up some of these white spots in here on my tree. But I've got black, white, and brown going in here to make my tree. So I'm just going to bring in a limb coming this way. And then we'll have one go this way. And let me pull you out just a little bit so you can see it as it's forming. And I'm just going to thin that out. I'm going to get my smaller brush in a little bit and bring in some more colors. I mean some more branches, not colors. Because we can always do some more. We don't want just a tree that looks like a bee. Lost our limbs because it's winter time. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up some more white here, and I'm going to come in here with this one. This tree's going to be kind of in front of the truck because the truck's going to be drove past it. You can put the limbs any kind of way you want to. I thought I was going to change brushes, but right now I'm pretty happy with the way I'm going. Okay. And this is where you just get to sit and use your imagination of how you want your trees I picked up some white and brown. And try not to get on my snowman. And there's the tree. Now I'm going to pick up a little white here and try to put just a little lighter on this side if I can get it. And I'm not going to really worry about a lot of the shadowing here. I just wanted a little lighter there. And we can bring some up if we want to. Let's see, let me get some white and brown here. And I'm just going to come right up in here and kind of bring that to a point. I have a lot of paint on my brush. I better get some of that off. And then we'll just bring Moon's hitting some of it differently than other spots. Okay, you can spend as much time with your tree as you want. I'm happy with my tree, so I don't think I'm going to go any further with my tree. So I'm going to pick up my little liner brush. I'm going to use the brown, and I'm going to come in here, and I'm just going to put a few little shadows. We got to have a bend in here. And I think I got too much shadow on there. So what I'm going to do is just use my paper towel and wipe off some of that. That's fine, because you see I'm getting some black on there now. That's okay. I'll pick up my red and I'll come back in there and we'll do some shadowing. I do like that. Let's pick up some red and just see if we can get some shadows spread out in here. Yeah. See. Just give it some darker colors. Now I want a little bit of that back here, so I'm going to pick up a little bit of that brown and wipe it off and just come and pick up more red. It just gives us some different little shadowings. And I have my 1-inch brush doing that. Okay, so I'm back with my little liner brush. And I'm going to use just a little bit of brown. I'm going to wipe some of that off of my... So I've wiped my brush off and tried to not get paint all over everything here. Okay, and I'm just going to bring this down lightly. I might not even have enough brown on there, I don't think, to give me... Just to make it look like the door's coming down. We can put us a foot railing here if we want to. Just some just a little shadowing here and there. And I'm going to come back over with red if I find that my shadowing's too dark. So I'm just doing some brown for shadows effects. We're going to come back to that, so just know we're doing our shadows. Okay, I'm going to go back with some gray at this point. Well, I was just talking away to y'all and told you I don't know what you got. And I use my dark gray with white and my windshield and my glass. And then I use just gray to make my mirror and my handle. And I use gray to make my grill and my bumpers. I'm sorry. It gets a little aggravating. I see a spot here that needs some loving, so I've just got my brown brush and my red, and I just want to fix it because it didn't. It's doing something it's supposed to. And I'm going to have to get some water here because I'm seeing some really coming out the tracks here. Let's see if I can get this off without making too much of a mess. Alright, let's Sometimes you just got to fix those little boo-boos. So I'm going to use my small liner brush this time and come back in there and see if I can get it a little straighter. That's all I'm trying to do is get it straight and some paint on it. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to leave my brush red, and I'm going to pick up some black, my little liner brush. And I'm going to come around my fender here, my grill. And I'm just putting some outline in a little bit. Right. Dirty brush, I'm just going to pick up some brown. And again, I'm just going to come right along in here for my door. And then just wipe that off. Something I got right there, I don't know what that is, so I'm going to put some red on top of it. Okay. And so there's our truck. I mean, literally, you can make it bigger if you wanted to. You can make it, I got a high one. He's high, but that's okay. I'm happy with him. All right, I'm going to pick up black, and I'm going to come around here and do this tire. And I'm going to try to hold my mouth right so I can get it painted without going out the line too much. We can always add snow to cover some of this stuff up if we need to. Right. Now, I do need to make sure I've got this in line. So what I'm going to do is come right here and see where that goes. And then, so I got to come down a little bit right in here. We'll see if I got it even. All right, let's go right up in here, come around. It's sometimes really hard to eyeball the tires, but like I said, snow can cover up a lot of things when it doesn't turn out right quite the way you want it to. I'm going to bring my tires down just a little bit more. Let's see, around here a little bit. There we go. I think that tire is a little fatter than this one, but it's an old truck, so it doesn't much matter. This one looks kind of weird looking on that side. Right. I just have to keep looking at it where I can get it. Gotta hold it up a little bit, y'all, so I can see where I'm headed with it. Okay, a little snow's gonna cover a lot of this up. All right, so there we have got our truck. You could make it a Christmas tree. This is a winter scene, so you could make it a Christmas tree in the back if you wanted to. I would put the Christmas tree before I put this tree, but I'm actually going to be doing a class, and I'm trying to make it easy for kids. So, and it's going to be a winter scene. All right, I'm using my little liner brush, and I'm going to come over here to my snowman, and I'm going to put a little snow on his hat. Just a little, because it snowed, and he got all wet, all snowed up. And we're just putting little, where a little snow could be on top of him. And then we'll just come right in here and put some snow. Some right there. So we can put a little bit around his scarf if we want to. It's up to you where you want to put it. I can put some on his carrot nose. Put some more on this mitten. And then I'm going to lay some right here. Okay. The wind must be really blowing because his little scarf is out. It's not like it's been starched. Okay. We can put a little bit on a button if we want to. That looks good to me. Alright. He's wet. Gotta be careful. The truck's wet. We gotta be careful. Now we're going to add some snow to our tree. So I'm going to just pick up some snow right in here. And we're just going to add it to... I think I want to pick up my number 6 brush for that. Okay. And then we'll come right down here, put some in this V. I know you can see the snow, but I wanted to make it a little thicker, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just putting a little thicker snow in there. A little bigger, thicker paint. Alright, and then we'll come in here. This one's going to be harder because, well, I don't know if it will be or not. We can just put some right along in here. There we go. I'm not going to worry about that one. I'm going to come right down here. Get this one. And then we can come right in here. Put a little bit. Let's see. Right in here. In here. And then right in here. I'm seeing some brown in here, so I'm going to redo something there. Okay, now we're going to go to this side, and we're going to put some right up this limb. Kind of bounced it. I think the snow was the limb wasn't quite dry because it looks like the snow's got some brown in it. That's okay. We're just going to come up this one. And I have plenty of paint on my brush, so I'm just going to let that get, and we'll stop with that because I just let it go so far. Right. Here, we'll do this one, and we'll do this one. Let's put a little bit right in there. So, there's our tree with our snow. This is not dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a moment and dry my truck because I need to, there's some things that I need to do to him to still make him look presentable. I'm going to use my little liner brush, and I'm going to use some black, and I'm going to try to do a little trim around my this should be dry, okay, around my window. Very carefully if I can. Try to do it very lightly. So that it doesn't spread way off. Okay. Let's get in here. Now I'm having and then I'm going to do the window here. Okay. Just getting that little trim around there. I just did some around the bumper partly, but I'm going to put snow on it, so some of it. Alright, that's all I'm going to do for as far as the trim, except I do want to bring a little bit of that brown back in, and I want to put a little Just a little line in here like that. I like that. I don't, for some reason I like that. Okay, gonna pick up my number 6 round brush with some of my darker gray, and I'm gonna come right in here in the center and just make me some hubcaps. And you can make them as big or little as you want. And I'm going to do another one here. And if you wanted to, you could put a quarter in there and draw it and make them perfectly round if you want to. Okay, I'm okay with that. Alright, I'm going to use my number 6 brush again. Oh, got paint on it right there. Red paint. I'm going to just pick up some of that red, white, and I've got my number 6 liner brush anyway, so that's okay. Round. My number 6 round. I just got to get some water off. And I just fixed that. But I'm going to pick up some of that white and just a little bit of the blue. And I want to come under here and give it some, like it's been riding down the road. It's just made tracks in the and we can see come right behind the snowman, so that way we know where he's headed. And we can't do one without the other one, so we're going to have to put us another one over here. So it looks like we got the tracks. Now we can just come in with a little white, more white on here, and just kind of blend that. And so it looks like he's riding down the road. Okay, I am coming up with some snow because I want the snow on the tires some. And I'm happy with my the wheels marks. We're just doing that one to try to make it blend in with the other. I'm just coming there. Makes it look like, trying to make it look like we got another set of tires over there. All right. I'm going to pick up my little liner brush, and hopefully I got enough white here that doesn't have all blue on it. And we're going to put some snow. I'm going to put some snow on our tailgate. On our bumper. And if you want to bring it down, you can. I think I got to dry it. And back with my 0 over 3 liner brush and my white paint. And I'm just going to come back over here and see if I can make that. There we go. I want a lot of paint and some spots. So I'm going to put, I do have it gobbed up on my paintbrush. That's okay, because I think it's pretty when it's like that. And we're just going to put some around here on our tire, on our rims, and on our tire, because it's snowing. And it's really snowing outside. I'm just trying to get that. Let's put a little bit more right in here. All right, let's put a little more here. And then we'll put some right in here. I may have to get some more white. Okay. Yep, I like that. We can go back further with more if we needed to, but we're just trying to get some of it. I'm gonna put a little dot and rub it right there, just to give that some little different little shadow in there. I did it with my finger. That's how hard it was. All right, So we're going to grab, I'm using my little liner brush. I'm going to come to my hood. I'm going to put a little bit right here on my rail, but I'm going to come right here on my cab, or my it's not the cab, it's the hood. Okay, so there's the paint there. Now we're just going to grab some, and we're going to put a little bit, I think I got too much. I'm going to put a little bit on my mirror here. It's really accumulated there. We'll put some on our door. Just those little touches that we can add if we want to. I'm going to put, I got a good bit of paint on my little brush now, because I really want some paint up here, or snow. Got a little bit too much. There we go. And just, I like to bounce it so it, you know, it's not totally smooth, so you can tell it's snow. And I'm going to put some on the body of the truck on the back, because I'm just going around here a little bit. I did that tire, but I didn't do this one. And we can always come back to there. But I'm going to grab a good bit of paint, and I'm just going to put some snow on the, we can let it build up a little bit here, and then come down. I like that. I just like snow. I don't get it here, so I have to use my imagination to get as much as I can. I'm just probably going crazy. It's my painting. I can do what I want. You can, if you do one, you can do it like you want, right? All right. There is the truck with the snow. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of the pink, the red and the white. It's going to have a little pink to it. That's okay. And we're just going to put in a few little highlights here. And it doesn't much matter where you go with it. It's just going to have a little bit of some division. And when that dries, if I don't like that, if it's too pinkish or I'm not giving it enough shadow, I can, or if I give it too much, I can come back with it with some red and take care of that. Okay, let me wash my brush real quick. I'm picking up just the white, and I'm going to kind of let it sit on the tree here. And see how that did, because sometimes the snow does go up on the trees and just sit on the bark, or I would think that's what it does, and I've seen them in pictures like that. But you know me, I don't get enough snow to know what it does anymore. We used to get snow. I tell you, when I was in 2nd grade, we got snow here in South Carolina for 2 weeks. We were out of school. I was in the 2nd grade and Randy was in the 4th grade. He was kind of smart to his teacher, I think. No, he wasn't. The teacher, I can't remember the man's name. He had a weird name. But he told Randy, he said, the kids were all excited. And he said, well, it's not going to amount to anything. And they were out of school for 2 weeks. And when Randy got back to school, being the little mouth that he was, he said, called the teacher's name and said, I thought you said we weren't going to get no snow. He looked at Randy and said, go to the office. So, yeah, Randy was a little troublemaker. I don't think so. I don't think it was. All right, I'm just going to, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to fix this. It just, I didn't like that. You don't have to do this, but I just wanted to fix that, smooth it up a little bit. I am going to wipe my brush off, and I'm going to grab a little, I'm going to use my number 6 brush, and I'm going to grab some red, and I'm just going to come in and lightly, there we go, over this pink to get it not quite so pink. And so I got a little bit too much there. That's okay. Now it's got its highlights, but it's still got more red on it. So y'all, I think I'm done. This is going to be our winter scene. The one I'm going to try to show kids how to do. And I don't know what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it the wave of the snowman, because he's waving at the truck. Stop, stop, let me in, get him warm in there. All right, I am going to use my, I'm going to use some black. I seem to use black a lot. I put a little water in it, and I'm rolling my brush in it. And I'm going to come over here to the left-hand corner, and I'm going to sign my name. I haven't painted in so long, I might be forgot how to draw my name. That's sad. It's just life gets busy sometimes. Okay. And that is that. The wave of the snowman. That's what I'll call it. Well, I hope you enjoyed our little tutorial today. Hope you'll pick up a paintbrush and get to loving it as much as I do. Y'all take care, and God bless.